Were you like me as a youth, flicking through the jewellery and watches section of various catalogues available, circling the products you longed for, dog-earing the pages, even made pretty good bedtime reading too? No? Maybe it was just me then. Now, a loyal entry into the watches section of those catalogues that always got a circle from me was this watch, the Citizen Navihawk A-T. It has everything. In a rotating bezel with so many slide rules you need a degree to be able to understand how to use them all. Solar power, radio controlled setting, multiple functions, 2 digital displays. And when you look at it, there's so much going on, it's almost overwhelming. But that's what makes it so darn cool. Now in this video, my younger self rejoices as we finally get to have a look at that watch that I dreamed about all those years ago that always got a circle. Costing £569, let's check out the Citizen Navihawk A-T. So first things first, how does it wear? Well, with a diameter of 48mm, it certainly is on the large side. Thankfully, the lugs are relatively dumpy with a reasonable lug-to-lug length of 52mm, so it is actually a lot easier to wear than the diameter suggests. For reference, I have approximately a 7-inch wrist and I can just get by wearing it. It has a height of 14mm too, which can just about fit under a cuff. So how does it look? Well, as mentioned previously, it has such a variety of dials and markings. For some, it may be too busy, maybe even a little bit overkill. But for others, me included, it's an absolute delightful feast for the eyes. Now, despite the busyness, it is actually still extremely legible thanks to these big, bold, sword-shaped hands with white borders. The inner rotating bezel is a key feature and frames the subdials and digital displays. It has a number of slide rules all around the navigation theme. One of them is a navigation calculator, so you can set the speed index and it'll tell you how long it takes to travel a number of miles at a set speed. Others include fuel consumption rate calculation, flying distance calculation, and nautical miles to kilometers conversion. That's before you take into account the fact that you can do multiple mathematical calculations with this slide rule, such as division, multiplication, ratios, and even square root. Now do you understand why I said you need a degree to be able to fully understand and use these slide rules to their full potential? On the side of the case, there's this cool fake plaque with the model name found within. Now, it's not actually an applied plaque, but rather engraved and filled with paint to give that effect. I'm sure you'll agree though, it still looks great. Now, flipping it over to the other side, we see we have these really impressive, well-sized pushers, and they flank the multifunction crown with awesome grip. The crown also has the Citizen ProMaster logo embossed within, and the ProMaster is Citizen's professional grade watches line. The watch is loaded with a Milanese bracelet with butterfly clasp, and this introduces a bit of bling to the watch. It's very thick and as you can see, it wraps around the wrist really nicely and is very comfortable on. Now, the crystal sitting on top of the watch is probably the only negative thing I have about it. Why, oh why, on a watch costing £569 have they loaded it with a mineral crystal? You'd expect a sapphire crystal, and I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. That being said though, it is beautifully clear with a brilliant layer of anti-reflective coating. The lume is okay, it's not amazing, but it is average, and additionally the digital displays have a blood red LED, which is activated by pressing the top pusher whilst in one of the time modes. The subdials and digital displays are all surrounded by a very neat applied border. Now, it appears to be fastened in by screws, giving the impression of extreme manufacturing accuracy, but in actual fact, if you look up close, these screw heads are actually painted on. So how does it work? Well, the watch has 8 different modes, and you can select a mode by pulling out the multifunction crown, rotating it to select one, and pushing it back in to activate it. Once you're in your desired mode, you can then use the 2 pushers at 2 and 4 to use it. For instance, on the chronograph, you can press the top button to start, to stop, and the bottom pusher to reset. Now, unfortunately, we can't possibly go through every single mode because it's so complex, there's so much to cover. We'd literally be here all day if we did that. Now, the AT in the model name stands for atomic timekeeping, and that basically means it has radio synchronization with atomic clocks in Europe, Japan, China, and also North America. It basically means that it's always going to be on time, you never have to set it. Now, when you take into consideration that this watch is solar powered as well, this is a watch that you never have to set and never have to change the battery. So it's basically a watch that will last you a lifetime with minimal maintenance. What are my final thoughts on this watch? Well, with an RRP of £569, it's not on the cheap side at all, but without doubt, it is a watch that looks magnificent, it's classy, and it's mightily impressive as well. Yes, the mineral crystal is a massive shame, but still, this is a superb watch for the money. The size also does mean that it's not necessarily going to fit everyone, so just be aware of that as well. As long as this watch is well looked after, this is literally a timepiece that will last a lifetime. No batteries to worry about, you don't even have to set it. The elaborate dial is a delight to view, I mean, just look at it. And the number of functions is mightily impressive as well. The overall build quality is top notch. This is a watch that feels and looks like a luxurious timepiece. I absolutely adore this watch, and the younger me, ogling at it in those catalogues all those years ago, is a very jealous boy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, please like this video, drop a comment below as well what you think about the Navitimer or even those catalogues of yesteryear, and also subscribe to see more videos like this. I'll see you next time.